The night that almost destroyed Will Smith began like many other nights in his early career, filled with pressure, uncertainty, and the quiet fear that everything he had worked for could disappear overnight. Today he is known as one of the biggest stars in Hollywood, but there was a time when his entire future balanced on the edge of disaster. In the late 1980s, before blockbuster movies and global fame, Will Smith was known mostly as a rapper. Together with his partner DJ Jazzy Jeff, he formed the hip-hop duo DJ Jazzy Jeff the Fresh Prince. Their music was fun, energetic, and different from the harder style dominating rap at the time. Songs like Parents Just Don't Understand made them famous and even earned them one of the very first Grammy Awards ever given for rap music. Success came fast, and money came even faster, but Will Smith was young, barely out of his teenage years, and suddenly surrounded by fame, parties, and expensive opportunities. Instead of carefully managing his money, he spent it freely: luxury cars, designer clothes, huge houses, and endless celebrations. At the time, he believed the success would never stop. What he didn't realize was that the music industry could change overnight. By the early 1990s, their popularity began to slow down. New artists were emerging, musical trends were shifting, and album sales were no longer bringing in the kind of money they once did. That was when Will Smith received a devastating surprise from the Internal Revenue Service. Because of unpaid taxes and financial mismanagement, he suddenly owed a massive amount of money. The government began taking most of what he earned, and many of his possessions were at risk. One night, sitting alone and thinking about his future, the reality hit him harder than ever before. The fame that once felt permanent was fragile. The money he thought would last forever was gone. For the first time, he realized he could lose everything: his career. But that same night also forced him to change. Instead of giving up, he decided to rebuild his career in a completely new direction. Around that time, music producer Benny Medina shared an idea for a television show about a street-smart teenager from Philadelphia moving to live with wealthy relatives in California. The concept eventually became the legendary sitcom The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Will Smith took the opportunity even though acting was new to him. The role changed everything. The show became a massive hit, introducing him to millions of viewers around the world. More importantly, most of his salary went directly to paying off his huge tax debt. For years, a large percentage of his earnings disappeared before he even received them. Yet he kept working. He studied acting, improved his skills, and slowly transformed himself from a struggling rapper into a respected actor. Over time, the same man who once feared losing everything went on to star in global blockbuster films like Men in Black and Independence Day, becoming one of the most bankable stars in Hollywood. Looking back, Will Smith has often said that the crisis that nearly destroyed him actually saved him. That terrifying night forced him to grow up, become disciplined, and rethink his entire future. Without that moment of fear and failure, he might never have taken the risk that changed his life forever. Sometimes the moment when everything seems lost is actually the moment when a new story begins. And for Will Smith, the night he almost lost everything became the first chapter of a much bigger success story.